of it. Option A4 gives control of that process to the people at the polling unit level, not at the Abuja level.
Well, Ambassador Babakingiwe, before we let you go, I might just put this across to you. You rightly can be described as a statesman, an elder statesman. And you've been in government, you've been a technocrat, you've served as Minister of Foreign Affairs, you've had other ministerial portfolios, and at some point in time you were secretary to the government of the Federation in the Erodua days. So, is Nigeria an impossible country to administer?
No. I think Nigerians are the easiest people to administer. All Nigerians want from their leaders one, communication. They want their leaders to connect with them. They want their leaders to identify with them, with their aspirations, with their struggles, and so on. Nigerian people are patient people. There is no country on earth, I believe, that can survive as we do the kind of challenges that we've been facing over time. We are patient people, we are tolerant people, and we are fair-minded people. We know, what is possible and what's not possible. We know what's right and what's wrong. All we want is for our leaders to adopt the attitude of do as I do, not as I say. If they see that their leaders themselves are suffering, their leaders are also struggling, just as they are, and they are facing the same issues, same problems. Nigerians are very, very, very easy to administer. In fact, very, very helpful. They can even help the government, to better administer the country. Once they are carried on board, our people need to be connected with. They need to be communicated to.
All right.
And they will be honest. No, we are very nice people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you describe yourself as a retired politician, and people wonder that is there such a thing? Does anyone in these parts actually retire from politics? They may not be as active as they used to be, but are you really retired from politics?
Let's put it no. Politics is in everybody's blood. It's not. When I say I'm a retired politician, I mean I'm no longer seeking an elective office.
All right.
Of course, I have my views, my aspirations, and my wishes for Nigeria and for Nigerians, and I cannot just be aloof from the political process, so to speak. But no, I'm not running for any office.
Right.
I operate with other people, to bring about the kind of society that we wish.
Well, with regard to June 12, what would you say is your greatest satisfaction, or, if you like, dissatisfaction with the whole process, the years of, as some would say, various administrations living in denial, and the eventual recognition and the conferment of honors on some of those who were key actors?
On the conferment of honors and so on are just consequential, not very is appreciated, but not very important. I think my satisfaction is that it was something now some of us labored for. We worked to bring about June 12th. It required a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing, a lot of hustings and campaigns, which took us to almost every I don't know. We had internal, the expression D-notice, like in the UK. Government can issue D-notice to the media, say this story, there is D-notice
Right.
on it, and everybody respects it, and they don't use it at all. But here we don't have formal D-notice system, but we had internal discipline to issue ourselves the D-notice. Nowadays, anything goes. Anything goes. I'm sorry, the fear of the media is the beginning of wisdom. But I'm not, I've gone beyond the stage of pandering to people's egos and so on. The standards are not as they should be. They write beautifully. I love reading columns in newspapers, for example, or watching insightful programs like yours. But generally speaking, the quality of the practitioners and the quality of the output could be improved upon. Let's put it that way. And I know some publishers who use their publications as a vehicle to blackmail people, that either to part with their money or to take certain positions and so on. There's a lot of regulation that needs to be done, and the exposure that needs to be made about the media, and streamline it, make it really respectable, so that when the media say something or write something, people can take it to the bank and can say, yes, it's the fourth estate of the realm, not just because they claim it, but because they are actually the guardians of freedom, of democracy, and watchdogs over government, and holding government to account, which I doubt if I can qualify the press of these days in those terms. Yeah.
Well, Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, we look forward to your releasing this recording of your recall of the whole saga of June 12. But if we're not preempting anything, when are we looking at?
We are looking at about 1.5 hours of recording. If your bosses will allow me to use their medium, I'll be very happy to release it. But that's discussion for another time. Yeah.
But you wouldn't let us know when exactly you release it?
No, anytime feasible. Yeah. Let's, meantime,
all right,
enjoy, savor, and honor the Nigerian people, honor Chief MKO Abiola on this Democracy Day. Let me just quickly say, you see, some people are saying, oh, why change May 29th with June 12th, blah, blah, blah. You see, there was nothing unique about May 29th. May 29th was not the first time that a civilian democratic president, a democratically elected president, took over from the military. Right. It wasn't the first time. President Obasanjo played roles in both the first occasion and the second occasion. The first occasion, he handed over as military president to a democratically elected civilian president, Shehu Shagari.
Right.
Second time, he took over, from General Abdusalami Abubakar as now the elected president of Nigeria. There was nothing unique about it. It's not the first time. And we all know what happened. The elections of 1999 and so on. Nigerians were fed up with the military government. The military themselves were eager to disengage, and they hastily arranged an election with a view partly, they said, to assuage the Southwest. And they just arranged the elections and so on. People did not care so long as they were going to go. And it went. So the kind of palpable, credible, democratic process of the election of June 12th was not present in the elections of 1999. And, the democratic processes, the process that we had, there was no struggle. The politicians and the Nigerian people pushed really Babangida to a point of even holding the elections. So there was a struggle. So all these combined make June 12th really more relevant to democracy than May 29th. And I hope that will take sentiment out of it. And, as I said, learn the lessons of that date and move on.
Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, we'd like to thank you so much for spending your time with us, sharing your thoughts with us, even though some of it is still under wraps, as we await the full unraveling of the story from one who was at best an insider and who was well on his way to being the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1993. We thank you for coming on this program.
Thank you, Cyril, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to celebrate Nigerians and to celebrate the great achievement of June 12th and to celebrate the driver of June 12th, the late Chief MKO Abiola. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's our program today. We thank you for being part of it. Next week we'll be back. I'm Cyril Stover. Bye for now.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Democracy Day in Nigeria dates back to May 29, 1999, when Nigeria's first truly democratic elections in decades were held, bringing with it a new era with a new government composed of elected officials. This day is also observed as a public holiday to commemorate the end of decades of military rule in Nigeria. It will be recalled that on June 6, 2018, the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, declared June 12 to be the new Democracy Day to commemorate the democratic election of MKO Abiola on June 12, 1993, in what has been adjudged to be Nigeria's freest and fairest elections that was, however, annulled. To this effect, residents in Enugu are airing their views about the man, MKO Abiola, believed to be a patriotic and detribalized Nigerian, and his footprints in the state.
Give so much credit to Mr. President's sense of history that he will reckon with the fact that June 12th is indeed a watershed in Nigerian history. The first real Nigerian that we have had to encounter in recent time was MKO Abiola. He was not only a Nigerian, he was a Nigerian properly so-called in every sense of the word. This is a man who was a Muslim, for instance, but he also was known to have built churches for the Christians. This is a man who was a Yoruba. His generosity translated in every part of the country. This is a man who was able to unite Nigerians, that we did not have to reckon with the fact, am I an Igbo? Is he a Yoruba? Is he a Muslim? Is he a Christian? This is the first ecumenical leader Nigeria has had.
Well, Abiola is one of those Nigerian capitalists you could call a patriotic capitalist. Many Nigerian capitalists had their trillions and kept them abroad. Abiola had his own and invested in this country. And our people had directly or indirectly benefited from the economic advantages which his funds engendered in Nigeria.
Abiola is a man before he ventured into politics. He's a man known for being a philanthropist. He's a philanthropist, and his kind philanthropic gesture, affected everybody, both east, south and north. He made series of, donation and supported foundation and so on, which you may not specifically go down to say this is, ABCD, but I know the benefit of his philanthropic gesture cut across the name that you cannot just push away in every state of this country.
We know Abiola to be a very successful business mogul. He has a lot of companies, employed a lot of people, both the Igbos, both the Hausas, both the Yorubas. He wasn't discriminating. As long as you can deliver the goods, as long as you can now do the job very well, you have the capacity and the capability to deliver the goods, you'll be under his employment. And you remember he once had a football club, Abiola Bears. They tried so much in international football. And it was during his own time that most of the Nigerian players went abroad to play professional football. So Abiola has added value to the lives of the Nigerians.
Today's politicians should therefore emulate the selfless life of MKO Abiola and engage in issues that will bring about growth and socio-economic development in a peaceful and unified Nigeria as they pursue their political dreams. As we celebrate June 12, let's join hands and crystallize the ideologies of MKO Abiola.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad. or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station.
Hello and happy Democracy Day, or what is left of it. I hope you had a wonderful time. Well, a News Extra sure did, and that is what we want to share with you again on the show tonight. We wish we could dedicate the whole program to activities of the day, but if we do, you will be asking, where is the extra? So we have the extra, and we are glad to bring it to you. You want to know the extra? I will give you a sneak preview. Wife of the president empowers 2,000 youths and women in Adamawa. The JAM policy meeting sets new national minimum cut-off points. Some business news, and of course, with the rains here, we will bring you the weather forecast to know if you need an umbrella or raincoat tomorrow. Well, that's enough for the preamble. Let's get down to the real thing. Like we always say on the show, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umar Buba, and this is News Extra. We begin. President Muhammadu Buhari says despite the huge resistance being encountered from some vested interest, Nigerians have embraced change, and therefore the nation's transition to the next level is a task that must be done. Consequently, a bold plan for transforming Nigeria is underway towards bequeathing a sustainable legacy of peace, unity and greater prosperity. Speaking at the 2019 National Democracy Day celebrations, the president described as unshaking his optimism about Nigeria's future. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
It is 20 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria, and therefore for that long in the political history of the country, people have been reaping its dividends, taking ownership of government, enjoying their attendant freedom, and most importantly, taking pride in the nation's recognition as a force to reckon with globally. Dozens of heads of state and government from Africa and beyond converged in solidarity as President Muhammadu Buhari gives what appears to be the State of the Nation address. He said none but the most partisan will dispute the fact that in the last 4 years, his administration has made solid progress in addressing Nigeria's fundamental challenges of security, economy, and corruption.
Over the next 4 years, we are committed to assembling a strong team of Nigerians and allies to implement our transformative plans and proposals.
The principal thrust of his administration, he said, is to consolidate on the achievements recorded so far, correct the lapses inevitable in all human endeavors, and tackle the new challenges facing the country.
Throughout my adult life, I have been a public servant. I have no other career but public service. I can therefore do no more than dedicate the rest of my life to work for the unity of Nigeria and the upliftment of Nigerians. We are revived by this new mandate to work collaboratively to rebuild and reposition our country as the heartbeat and reference point for our continent. With leadership and sense of purpose, we can lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years. We can do it.
Already, he said, a database of poor, vulnerable households and the unemployed is being built for proper planning in the war against poverty and joblessness. The president, who noted the disturbing increase in rates of kidnapping, banditry, and other criminal activities, blamed the situation on decades of neglect and corruption.
This government will not tolerate actions by any individual or groups of individuals who seek to corruptly enrich themselves at the expense of the rest of you to join me in this journey of rebuilding our nation. Our focus will not be to help the privileged few, but to ensure that Nigeria works for Nigerians of all persuasions.
In the meantime, in addition to his approval of June 12 as National Democracy Day, the president made further proposal as part of the process of healing and reconciliation, saying correcting injustice is a prerequisite for peace and unity.
Today, I propose the renaming of the Abuja National Stadium henceforth. It will be called Aisha Buhari National Stadium.
This is the first time the 12th of June is celebrated as Democracy Day in Nigeria, and therefore the previous damage done in the annulment of presidential election of 1993 is partially atoned. And as some will say, President Muhammadu Buhari, who made it possible, has become the greatest living hero of the June 12 struggle. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And dignitaries across the globe attended a gala night organized as part of events commemorating the maiden edition of June 12 as Democracy Day. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
That provides Nigerians the opportunity to congratulate one another on the successes recorded in the democratic process in the last 20 years. The journey indeed has been without challenges, and now it's time to celebrate. On the 6th of June 2018, the Buhari administration recognized and acknowledged the beginning of democratic process that commenced in 1993, when the first presidential elections were held since the 1983 military coup. Though the result was annulled, the person on which this centered, late Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, was posthumously rewarded.
We celebrate the struggles and sacrifices which many of us here vividly recall and remember those who started the struggle but are no longer here to witness this day. It is a celebration of freedom and salute to the resilience and determination of Nigerians. A recommitment of this administration promise to lead Nigeria and Nigerians to the next level, a level where peace, justice, and prosperity will prevail.
And now the bid for a sustainable democracy goes on, and even the military join in the bid.
Nigerian people.
For the vice president, though tribe and faith may differ, in brotherhood we stand.
Our diversity in tribe and tongue and faith is taken advantage of to create division and hate, usually to advance personal political ends. This we must always stoutly resist. The Nigerian people of every tribe and every tongue and every faith believe in themselves as a people and want to live together.
That this celebration has witnessed several activities involving the youth of our country, our women and mothers, as well as our school children. It has also promoted knowledge-driven activities, thus pointing in the direction of national cohesion and inclusiveness.
The president, supported by his wife, Aisha, Vice President Osinbajo and wife Dolapo unveiled a photo book titled Being Buhari, authored by the president's personal photographer. To round off the event, the president leads visiting heads of states and government on tour of picture exhibition. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In the meantime, President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, has charged Nigerians not to despair in the face of the daunting economic insecurity and socio-political challenges, but to remain steadfast. In a goodwill message by Soji Ikotun, media aide to the Senate President, to mark this year's Democracy Day celebration, he urged the citizens to believe in the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, adding that the plight bedeviling the nation at this particular time is meant to spur greatness. He added that this year's Democracy Day is a unique celebration as the nation is now set for a participatory and representative government. The Senate President assured that the just inaugurated legislative arm of a government came in with the zeal to deliver on campaign promises. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress joins all well-meaning Nigerians to celebrate the country's new Democracy Day. The party, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onilu, acknowledged the significance of the day in the annals of Nigeria's political history in all ramifications. The party commended President Muhammadu Buhari's led government, which has demonstrated commitment to correct past injustices and celebrate heroes and heroines that paid the supreme sacrifice for the democratic freedom that Nigerians cherish and enjoy today. The party therefore urged Nigerians to continue to appreciate the importance and significance of the day by continuously guarding jealously the hard-earned democracy over which so many of the country's compatriots paid the ultimate sacrifice. The celebration of June 12th as Nigeria's Democracy Day should not only be an opportunity for merry-making, but should be embraced as a unique platform for Nigerians to reflect on the need for selfless service for the development of the nation. These were views by a cross-section of Nigerians at the maiden edition of Nigeria's Democracy Day celebration, and Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Are you wondering why French, which is not the official language for communication in Nigeria, is being used at the Eagle Square on this Democracy Day? It is to carry along the many French-speaking African leaders and dignitaries that come to join Nigeria celebrate her first marking of June 12 as Democracy Day.
This is one further step towards consolidation of democracy.
A very clear, transparent, open for good governance, for growth, development, social and infrastructural development is being put in place.
Many others acknowledged the commemoration of June 12 to honor a great African, Moshood Kashimau Abiola.
And today, I am extremely happy that President Muhammadu Buhari is giving effect to the significance of that day.
And has taken the step to internationalize the recognition by celebrating this day with dignitaries around the world.
This government is a government that listens to the people. So the people have now, pay attention that, let me pay attention to what my people saying. And they have seen that what they want is to support the democracy, those who fought for the democracy of this country.
They expressed hope that Nigeria will continue to produce leaders that will consolidate and strengthen the gains of the country's democracy. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Nigeria today commemorates the first anniversary of a day which went down in history as one of the rare moments of the nation's collective show of unity. The story of June 12th, though mainly about an election, now appears to transcend politics and speaks to a more conscious effort to strike a balance between political correctness and justice. Nnamdi Odipo, in our next report, reflects on that day in history and what it now represents for Nigeria.
So much has changed in Lagos State since the year 1993. But sometimes when you listen closely, you could still possibly hear some of the ghosts of June 12. In the Alakpere Ketu axis of Lagos, a giant reminder stands. Towering 46 feet above ground level, this memorial statue depicts the persona of the man caught in the center of the June 12 story.
SDP, MKO, action. MKO, SDP, progress.
It may or may not have been the TV campaign ads, but for sure, Nigerians were clearly intrigued by the man, Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. The legend of MKO Abiola had spread far and wide prior to the June 12, 1993 presidential election. The streets were livelier, the people more eager. Electioneering campaigns had sparked a fire that mostly burnt out religious and ethnic preconceptions amongst Nigerian voters.
The amazing thing about it was so orderly, it was so free, visibly free, and the fairness was palpable, and we felt like heroes. Our country has done something right.
Indeed, June 12, 1993 started as a very good day. As the day progressed, it carried with it the spirit and hope of inclusiveness collectively expressed by millions of voters. The result of the June 12, 1993 presidential election was never completely released and never made official. But something which emerged from the voting pattern and was rather quite glaring was the confirmation that the voters' choice clearly went beyond ethnicity and religion.
My proud state of Kano, who had a candidate, but we felt that our candidate may not have been the best, and therefore will vote for another candidate. And that role played by Kano in delivering so many votes to the MKO Abiola is one of the positives we remember from that outcome.
It is true that the presidential election was generally seen to be free, fair, and peaceful. However, there was in fact a huge array of electoral practices virtually in all the states of the Federation.
The truth of the matter is that you do not have two sunrises in one day. Even in Africa, the sun rises only once a day, and that is the way it is. The people have made it very clear that that is what they want.
The sun did rise and set on June 12, and the accompanying darkness was frightening. The protagonist in our story was known to have said something quite profound at the time, and I quote, "Democracy came at a price, steep but totally worth the people having their say." End of quote. The June 12 story has several heroes, but one stands out. But there were many other characters at play.
In any event, there will always be the heroes and there will be the villains. But the good thing is for us to forgive and forget.
What it tells us is that history matters, that it does not matter how you act, history will take care of everything.
By sundown on June 12 and the
current republic from 1999 till date, Adebayo Shitu, on the other hand, is the immediate past Minister of Communications from Oyo State, southwest Nigeria, and has occupied various political offices. Mongunu and Adebayo have one thing in common. They both participated actively in the Third Republic between 1992 and 1993. While Adebayo contested for the position of House of Representatives then and lost, Mongunu did same and won on the platform of the Social Democratic Party, SDP.
I was the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee then in the Third Republic.
The attempt at having a Third Republic came about as a result of the pressure of the civil society on the dead military administration.
The supposed Nigeria's Third Republic lasted between 1992 and 1993. It was an unsuccessful attempt to return Nigeria to democratic governance by the then military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. It was a transition program that looked perfect with a drafted constitution, 2 political parties formed, and elections conducted at all levels, including the presidential.
All Abiola did was to take his calculator and add the results from all the states. And the addition showed that he won the election. And he so declared, because the government stopped the announcement of results. Then it was becoming very clear that Abiola would win the election.
Yeah, actually, the Third Republic was quite a very interesting one, because that was the first time Nigerian had a free and fair election.
And those of us then, we were still a bit younger, but we could see the handwriting that it was still being dictated by the then military government.
To the likes of Mongunu and Adebayo, the Nigerian Third Republic was indeed one to behold in view of the lessons learnt from the process.
It is on that date that we had the most transparent, the freest, and the most democratic election Nigeria had ever had. You have to remember that the two candidates did this were Muslim. It was a Muslim ticket, which will not happen these days. And people, in spite of the fact that it was a Muslim ticket, the people voted for MKO Abiola and King Gibe.
Unlike the First and the Second Republic led by Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and Alhaji Shehu Shagari, the Third Republic only showcased the virtues of a true democracy, having produced elected local government chairmen and councillors, state houses of assembly members, National Assembly members of both the House of Representatives and Senate, governors on the platform of National Republican Convention, NRC, and Social Democratic Party, SDP. All these elected officials were fully discharging their constitutional roles when the presidential election, adjudged as one of the best conducted in Nigeria, was held. Chief Moshood Kashimao Abiola of the SDP was on course to be declared as the democratically elected civilian president when the election was annulled.
I was one of the 52 people who gathered at the Lagos residence of late General Denyika Adebayo, and they deliberated on the crisis for 2 days, at the end of which we decided to give an ultimatum to the military government to hand over power to Abiola, who won the election.
Nigerians had to wait 6 years for another democratic dispensation in 1999 after the Third Republic that never was. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And joining me in the studio now to discuss more on June 12th is the immediate past APC national chairman, an active participant of the June 12th struggle in those days. You're welcome, sir. And we
pleasure.
have John Odike Oyegun.
My pleasure. Thank
it's
you.
It's really, really great to have you in our studios today.
Thank you.
And on this special day.
Thank you.
Yes, from the intro, you are one of the participants in the June 12th struggle. Yeah. So how was the environment like?
When the announcement, people lashed out in different ways, violence in several parts of the country. Edo State burned down the house of the vice president then and the rest of it, for which, of course, I was held responsible. and which finally precipitated my going into exile. And at least it dawned on everybody suddenly that this long period of transition has been a fraud. It dawned on everybody that the military in politics had become the problem of the Nigerian polity. And that is why those who were concerned, and there were many concerned Nigerians from politics, from the private sector, private individuals, and majorly the media, who started conferring, started meeting, and like Chifala just revealed, finally ended up in, we were having separate meetings, but suddenly, well, the word went around that there was a major one being convoked by General Adinka Adebayo, and we all finally landed there. And the first point of discussion was the military. We are not going to get anywhere unless we can get the military out of Nigerian politics. Whether they gave us June 12th or not, basic is that the military must go. Nigerians must now make that very, very clear. That was decision number one. And later, Abiola, of course, asked to attend. He came and we grafted in his the June 12th victory, a very, very famous Abiola
it was a really
victory.
tough time then.
It was really, there was just...
So because we had various, accounts, of the June 12th struggle. We've watched reports, we've seen it on the net and all of that. So, but to you now, has the June 12th ghost been finally put to rest?
Yes, the angst, the feeling of hurt, feeling of deprivation. I think our president, Muhammadu Buhari, has done a lot to assuage hurt and the rest of it. We cannot resurrect Abiola. It is beyond his powers to do so. What is within his powers, he has done. The national honors and the rest of it, public display of sorrow and regret, because on that date, Nigerian, those who were ruling us, took the worst decision in the history of this country so far, annulling June 12th, because it was a beauty of an election. Like everybody is saying, totally free, totally fair, and
transparent.
Totally transparent. It was a joy. Secondly, the people of this country gave us very definite messages. They don't care about religion. They voted massively for a Muslim ticket. They don't care about ethnicity. Around the country, every tribe, major tribe, minority tribe, voted massively, came out and voted massively for the Abiola Kingibe ticket. They didn't mind about tribe
and ethnicity
and the rest of it. So it was a landmark election. In fact, we were at the apex, the peak of democracy, because everything was perfect. It was nationhood. People were saying, we are one country. And they voted massively out. It was a kind of victory and a kind of election that has not repeated itself in this country. That is the challenge today. How do we replicate June 12th? So when we celebrate, we must bring out these messages and remind the people all the time that we have a dream. And that dream has to be fulfilled.
All right. Thank you very much, Asa. It's good to have you on News Extra tonight.
Thank you. I was glad to hear you saying in your earlier cast,
Okay.
it was a period of reflection. Yes.
Okay.
At every celebration, we must reflect.
Thank you very much, and those are kind words from you. And yes, I've been speaking with the immediate past national chairman of an active participant, also on the June 12th struggle, John Odegu. Moving on now, a wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, has challenged well-meaning individuals to extend their philanthropic gestures towards the improvement of health, education, and the general well-being of women, youth, and children. Mrs. Buhari gave the challenge during the inauguration of the 200-bed capacity Aisha Buhari Foundation Maternity Clinic situated at the Federal Medical Center, Yola, Adamawa State. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports that this is at the sideline of events of the 2019 Nigeria's Democracy Day celebration.
This is the 200-bed capacity Aisha Buhari Maternity Complex situated at the Federal Medical Center, Yola, Adamawa State, constructed and donated to the FMC Hospital Management by the Aisha Buhari Foundation. It is the state-of-the-art facility comprising multiple consultation rooms, antenatal clinics, gynecology ward, ultrasound room, pharmacy, family planning clinic, and 200 capacity antenatal waiting area. The idea was conceived by the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, in 2018, following the successful operation of similar facility constructed in Daura, the home of the president, by same foundation. The whole essence is to complement government effort in improving the health status of Nigerians, and with the pilot program in Katsina State, the Yola complex is a clear demonstration of Mrs. Buhari's commitment of spreading the gesture to all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. Mrs. Buhari, who was supported by the spouses of the African leaders comprising the first ladies of Ghana, Gambia, Chad, and Niger Republic, alongside Nigerian business mogul Tony Elumelu, among others, said the facility is to cater for the health needs of women and children of Adamawa, the neighboring states, and beyond its borders.
Nigeria is a wealthy country. I think we need more foundations, the serious-minded foundations, the genuine foundations, to be supported by wealthy Nigerians to see how we can make a difference in the lives of the less privileged ones.
What she has done today demonstrates very strongly that she is interested in developing Adamawa State, and more importantly, in supporting women across the country.
Still to come, more reports on Democracy Day celebrations as Ogun State government visits late MKO Abiola ancestral home.
Chancellor, Bayero University, Kano, Professor Muhammad Yahuza Bello cordially invites the public to the 35th Convocation Ceremony 2017-2018 session of the Bayero University, Kano. Venue, Convocation Arena, New Campus, Gwazo Road, Kano, 14th June. Project commissioning and unveiling by Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro. Time 9 a.m. Convocation lecture. Theme, Revitalizing University Education in Nigeria. Exploring the Triple Helix Model. Speaker, Professor Abubakar A. Rashid. Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission. Chairman, His Excellency, General Dr. Yakubu Gowon, Elder Statesman and former Head of State. Time 4 p.m. Saturday, 15th June. Award of higher degrees and prizes to graduates of School of Postgraduate Studies and Dangote Business School. Conferment of Emeritus Professor on Professor Abdul Kadri Dangambo. Conferment of honorary doctorate degrees on Senator Bello Hayatu Gwazo, Chief Folake Sholanke, and Mr. Tony Elumelu. Fatima Binta Ishaku Muhammad, Registrar, Announcer.
On behalf of the management staff of West African Ceramics Limited, Royal Brand Nigeria, we congratulate His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari and the Vice President, Professor Yomi Osibanjo, on their successful first tenure in office. And we also congratulate him for his second tenure, next level, for betterment of Nigeria and the prosperity of all.
The management and staff of West African Ceramics Limited, Royal Brand Nigeria, heartily congratulates His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari, the Vice President Professor Amy Oshi Banjo, successful first-time tenure in office and inauguration of second term, next level of better Nigeria with prosperity.
Welcome to South Africa, your own personal playground.
Allow us to spoil and pamper you.
And delight you with our favorite local flavors.
Allow us to show you the full VIP experience.
Allow us to indulge your shopping desires. And show you the places closest to our hearts.
Allow us to cater to your every need.
It takes a lot of people to make your holiday special. Fortunately, we have 54 million of them.
Are you a business owner struggling to find your way? Smeaton is the answer. The Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria is here to help you succeed. How? Smeaton gives you entrepreneurship training that will make your business grow big. It can create access to finance. Smeaton can help you prepare a good feasibility study and link you up with the finance institutions that will fund your business. It can also create access to market through local and international trade fairs, opportunity fairs, and exhibitions. Smeaton also organizes programs to identify innovative entrepreneurs and promote their business ideas. Wow! For further information, contact us at Plot 35, Port Harcourt Crescent, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, or visit our website www.smeaton.gov.ng or any of our state offices in the 36 states of the Federation.
The verification exercise for the implementation of the HR model of IPPRS for all federal civil servants in the outstations of core MDAs in the states and South-South, Southeast, and Southwest geopolitical zones will be conducted from Monday 17 June to Friday 28 June 2019. Affected employees are expected to present themselves along with the original copies of the underlisted documents, employee online records update slip, duly completed and signed personal verification form, birth certificate or statutory declaration of age, relevant educational credentials, later or Gazette of First Appointment, Gazette of Confirmation of Appointment, last 3 promotion letters, and current office ID card. Verification by proxy will not be entertained, and failure to comply will lead to stoppage of salary on the IP's platform. For more information, please see this day newspaper of 11 June and Daily Trust newspaper of Wednesday 12th June 2019. Mrs. Winfred E. Oyoita, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, announcer.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Special announcement. The Chief of Defense Staff, General A.G. Olonisaki, cordially invites the general public to the 3rd edition of the Armed Forces and Security Agencies Half Marathon Championship, Abuja 2019. Theme, Together We Are. Date, 15th June 2019. Time, 6 a.m. Venue, Agunyi Rossi Cantonment, Abuja. Commodore N.J. Bala, Chairman Organizing Committee, Announcer.
Good to have you back on News Extra. Nigerians have praised President Muhammadu Buhari for naming the Abuja National Stadium after late MKO Abiola. Adebola Brooksland Sunday was at the Eagle Square where he made the proclamation.
Jude Kasima Wolawale Abiola is known as one of Nigerians who loved sports. He was involved in the development of football, especially at the grassroots level, and even had a football team, Abiola Babes. They called him the pillar of sports in Africa.
In Africa, the tendency is to give glory to the man who put the ball into the net.
It was during the Democracy Day speech of President Buhari that it took most of his listeners aback in the immortalization of the late Democrats, MKO Abiola.
Where I sat, were like, what? He virtually knows and understands all the people he has met in his life, up to a point that he took interest in even their social activity, like games and reading and things like that. And you can see what has finally come out, knowing Abiola as one of the greatest pillars of sports, not in Nigeria, but in Africa and the world. He decided to do that to him.
Sport is a living thing, so no matter what, definitely his name will always be mentioned. The youth need to take advantage of that name so that tomorrow they can be better than Abiola and then make Nigeria great.
My hope has been restored that Nigeria is going to say farewell to poverty under this leader who has situated his administration in the spirit of June 12.
June 12 is now Nigeria's Democracy Day. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Similarly, Nigerians have lauded President Buhari for naming the Abuja National Stadium after the sports icon, late Moshood Abiola, describing it as a pointer to sports development in Nigeria. Olumide Eguntola has the details.
Championship award and the middleweight amateur boxing title. As a philanthropist, his interest cut across many sports, which is sponsored with different nomenclature. Many Nigerian sport personalities and the national teams were beneficiaries of MKO Abiola kind gesture, raising the bar in football clubs' ownership, making his own Abiola Babes Football Club to have magnetic pull on outstanding footballers across the country. He also successfully run Concord and ITT football clubs and encouraged his wife, Simbiat, to float the Kakanfo female football team. MKO Abiola was the chairman of the committee that raised the fund for Nigeria to feature at the Los Angeles Olympics in 1994, and the remaining fund was invested in building the gymnasium at the National Stadium, Lagos. He worked tirelessly as the chairman presidential committee that worked to improve facilities, leading to Nigeria hosting the World Youth Championship years later in 1999. He sponsored various sporting activities in Nigeria and 14 other African countries, including Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia, and Tunisia. Based on these unequal achievements, Nigerians agreed in totality with the president's pronouncement, naming this sporting national edifice after late Chief MKO Abiola.
A very historic, very great day for the entire citizens of the Nigerian state.
This shows that football and sports has taken the notice of the people that matter at the top.
The name that has been given, I think it is now rife for infrastructure and facility management at the highest level to commence.
The federal government can gesture towards the late sports icon, Chief MKO Abiola, will go a long way in motivating sports philanthropists in assisting government in sports sponsorship and promotion. In Lagos, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And earlier today, Doyin Dia went to town to feel the mood of the people in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, on the commemoration of the maiden June 12th Democracy Day celebration.
Very bright morning here at the Federal Capital Territory, celebrating the maiden edition of June 12th Democracy Day. And Nigeria are so elated to be part of this celebration.
Today is actually a good day for us, honestly. I like the fact that our president made it a point to make this day our Democracy Day. Honestly, I'm so grateful.
And to take you to another level, I decided to join this commercial transit vehicle to get reactions from some Nigerians.
What happened in that time till today, and we are still in democracy. So that is why we cannot forget June 12th.
I pray that this Democracy Day will open more doors for our country.
Regardless of the challenges that Nigeria has faced in the past, there's still hope for a brighter future. And that can only be possible when Nigeria unites and ensuring that the sacrifices of our heroes past does not go in vain.
Remember that we will not have this occasion today if not because of the sacrifice MKO Abiola made.
The reason why we sent military away was that the situation was so tight then. We were supposed to enjoy democratic system of government.
In Abuja, Doyin Dia, NT News.
Now to Lagos. Ekpetedo is part of Lagos Island. It remains historic in the nation's democracy because it is the place where Chief MKO Abiola declared himself the winner of June 12 in 1993 presidential election. Amaka Ugo visited the area and other parts of Lagos to capture the mood as the nation celebrates.
Residents of Ekpetedo on Lagos Island, this very spot remains historic and will go down in the annals of history as the very place where late Chief MKO Abiola declared himself winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential elections. Residents of the area say it is significant as the place Chief MKO Abiola began the clamor to reclaim what many described as the stolen mandate. 87-year-old Alhaji Abdul Wahid Jawando is a member of the defunct Social Democratic Party and witnessed Ekpetedo declaration.
On that particular day, we heard that he was coming and they gave us all the necessary arrangements. We met him at Wabi demonstrated via Gabari. They entered Gabari to Dumaret before we enter into this particular hall. In fact, beside that, Abiola entered and changed to full regalia, leaving that suit. The people have told me that I cannot just say how he was being sworn in, but I heard in 20 minutes time, Abiola said we should hurry up, bro. There's an information that police are coming.
From Ganifa Freedom Park to other parts of Lagos, it was a beehive as various groups gathered to raise issues bordering on democracy and nation building.
It brings stability and appeasement in some sections, which is very good.
What it brings to me is hope that whatever happened, there's still hope. I'm happy that the government really signed the amendment bill.
The Central Business District of Lagos witnessed trading as the people said late MKO Abiola was first a businessman before becoming a politician. In Lagos, Amaka Owu, NT News.
And from MKO Abiola's home state, Ogun, comes the report that the Dapo Abiodun-led administration has reaffirmed commitment to good governance, poverty alleviation and rule of law, which late Moshood Abiola stood for. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, stated this in a message to the Democracy Day celebration in Abeokuta. Correspondent Lukman Adefeso reports that the celebration was colorful.
This is Democracy Day celebration, now a national day, was exceptional in Ogun State, being the first since the federal government gave full recognition to June 12. The colorful ceremony to commemorate the day was held at MKO Abiola Stadium, one of the monuments named after the late philanthropist, where solidarity messages by pro-democracy groups and activists, as well as tributes to late Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, were held. The march past by schools, trade unions, political groups, sportsmen and women, and voluntary organizations added color to the ceremony. The Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Noimot Salako Edele, who represented the governor, urged political actors not to deviate from the purpose and sacrifice of June 12 so as not to allow the labor of the past heroes be in vain. He assured the state that the present administration will do everything possible to enhance the living standard of the people and ensure that what late MKO Abiola stood for is achieved. One of the sons of late MKO Abiola, Mumin Abiola, and other civil rights activists called on government to do more by making true federalism realistic.
But I believe that based on the recognition of this June 12, what the president has done is he's going to rekindle the spirit of Nigerian people.
That's not all from Ogun State. We also hear that in commemoration of the June 12th Democracy Day, the state government visited the ancestral home of late MKO Abiola in Abeokuta to honor the late winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential elections. Correspondent Lukman Adefeso reports that the deputy governor, Nomota Salako Oyedele, who led the state delegation, joined special prayers for the late philanthropist.
The Okeido Bagura ancestral home of late MKO Abiola, the acclaimed winner of June 12 presidential elections, against played host to eminent Egba sons and daughters as the Abiola family held special prayers in honor of their patriarch. Regarded as a symbol of democracy in Nigeria, the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Noimot Salako Edele, who led the state delegation to the family home, assured them of government's intention to build a museum in honor of Chief MKO Abiola in order to immortalize his name and legacies.
We politicians must take the message that the late Chief MKO Abiola gave, which is a message of one Nigeria, one people. He came out, campaigned, and he was well received all over the country. And we must also make sure that we practice good governance, and good governance, is the number one in everything that this government is about. And we have also pledged to be just, equitable, and fair, so that the people of this state will know that they have a government in place, a government for each person. Each person knows that this government is looking after them. And
members of the Abiola family expressed appreciation to the new administration in the state for the gesture, and indeed President Muhammadu Buhari for the recognition given MKO Abiola and the entire family nationally.
Thank God, June 12 has been recognized as Democracy in Nigeria.
Special prayers were offered for the repose of the soul of the departed as the cleric enjoined government at all levels to step up the fight against poverty.
And the residents of the winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, late Moshood Abiola, came alive as people from all walks of life gathered to discuss democratic prosperity and political stability. Now that June 12 is officially the country's Democracy Day, Michael Olaleye reports.
This is the residence of the late Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, the winner of the 1993 presidential election. And since his demise in 1998, activists and lovers of democracy usually assemble here to celebrate the heroic deeds of one man who strongly believed in true democratic values. This year's celebration was not an exemption, as a minute silence was held in honor of the late icon. Prayer for the repose of his soul followed the laying of wreath by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State. 26 years after the annulment of the June 12 election, memory of the chains of events are still fresh.
Nigeria is a democratic country now for the past over 20 years, and it was because of the struggle, the lives lost by not only my parents, but by many other Nigerians who sacrificed their wealth, their lives to ensure that Nigerians have a say on who governs them.
This gathering believe the declaration of June 12 as Democracy Day will not only unite the people, but strengthen the faith of the populace in the nation's democratic process.
For us, democracy is not just the means, it's the end. Because without democracy, civil liberties will not be protected, including right to freedom of association, right to organizing, which we represent.
Beyond this discussion, the need for the political class to institutionalize some of the core values MKO represented were emphasized.
If everybody in their own corner can do the right, this country will be great. So if a driver doesn't face one way, this country will be right.
It's for us to carry along the message and the spirit and the ideals and the idea of June 12 to better our democracy, to strengthen our country.
While his remains continue to rest beside that of his wife, Kudirat, his virtues of sacrifice will forever resonate.
29 to June 12, Democracy Day. What is the import of this on the nation's political development, if I may ask?
Well, thank you. I think there are two issues involved here.
Okay.
May 29th is an inauguration day. It is actually a constitutional issue. It is the day that officially elected governments in some states and at the federal level should take new oath of office, having been elected again. June 12th, which has been declared Democracy Day, has its own significance. It's not about the emotions of June 12th. It's about the ideals of June 12th. It's about what June 12th signifies in our journey towards deepening our democracy.
Okay.
Generally acclaimed as free, fair, and most credible election in the country. The June 12 election is one in which the Nigerian nation was divided strictly along partisan lines.
Okay.
Strictly along partisan lines.
Okay.
We were not concerned at that time, I was a participant,
Okay.
about ethnicity, about religion, but the two political parties that were created by the military actually were taken over by the people.
Okay. Okay.
And the country was completely mobilized, galvanized. In fact, we would have seen one of the finest electoral contests. In fact, we had seen the finest electoral contest. So the significance of June 12 actually goes beyond the declaration. I am saying, therefore, that there are certain ideals that we need to borrow, to learn from June 12 and inject such ideals, such ethics, such tenets into our democracy.
Okay, and we will all remember that, the president did not make any speech, at his second term inauguration ceremony. And many people found that strange. They were like, what's happening? Why didn't he give his speech and all of that? But what is your reaction to that personally?
No, personally, I don't think there is anything amiss.
Okay.
The president did not make speech on the day he was re-inaugurated.
Okay.
But the most important thing was for him to have taken the oath of office and the oath of allegiance. Of course, he had already made his speech today. I think the choice of when when to make the speech was deliberate.
Okay, so now we're talking about today. How do you assess the ceremony today?
Absolutely fine. We had a good day. Okay. The weather was so clement. Everybody was in high spirits. And I hope that, like I have said, that we will continue to talk about our country, about our democracy, because like we keep saying, different democracy, making it actually work for the people, fighting poverty, entrenching good governance. These are all things that you don't find in a sprint. It is actually a marathon. And all Nigerians must have to come and join in this marathon so that we can all together get to the promised land.
Okay, so thank you very much. It's good to have your News Extra, like I said earlier. And thank you very much for sharing your thoughts about today with us. And that was the Director General at National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari. Now, the long-awaited June 12th Democracy Day has finally come, just as Nigerians look forward to better days in the next level dispensation. Ruth Aguele was at the Eagle Square and brought back these side attractions.
It's a beautiful day in the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja, a significant one and a historic one for the people of Nigeria. Now, people have come across from different parts of the country and across Africa to come and witness this remarkable day. For me, I want to catch a glimpse of the side attractions. What is peculiar here? That's what we'll be bringing to you.
Moving on to see other unusual happenings at the Eagle Square, we couldn't ignore the fashion statements from royalties to top dignitaries.
Today is a very significant day in the life of every Nigerian. But what
yes.
does it mean to you?
Mr. President Mohamed Buhari, he did well. So remember and change the Democracy Day to June 12. I think the very, very good things achieved. All Nigerians should believe in one Nigeria. Believe in unity and peace and progress. And believe in good patriotic Nigeria. And with passion, we can make Nigeria to be great again.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and happy Democracy Day once again.
Same to you, my dear sister.
Typically, on a big day like this, business-minded people will not hesitate to take advantage of the day.
How markets be since morning, patronage day?
We thank God, but no market, just the mileage. Just the mileage. Since yesterday we did here, nothing.
That you can see. If not before, even I can't even have time to do this, but today, just be somehow, market no day.
You look very excited today.
If nobody make you happy, make yourself happy.
Now, this is not an eatery set aside for the VVIPs. This is actually a restroom. As you can see, it's well decorated for the VVIPs. In case nature calls, this is one-stop point for them. And I have the man in charge here, Shagun. He's going to tell us what's the whole idea behind this beautiful place.
Yeah, the whole idea is for people to use the restroom, to make it very special, so they can use it to feel at home. Very clean, comfortable, just like the toilet at home, so that you feel very relaxed, so that you can use the toilet, just like the toilet at home.
While the event was at its peak inside the Eagle Square, we stumbled on Favour Moses, who is a strong advocate of the Buhari administration, using her ministry to preach on peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. Well, no better time to talk about peace than on a day like this.
What makes me coming out today? Because I want to support Buhari today.
Well, the big day has finally come to an end. But what I find unusual is the fact that not much unusual things happened here at the Eagle Square. But we are indeed grateful for June 12th, our new Democracy Day that has definitely come to stay. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele.
Sure, very, very peculiar things seen there, most especially the beautifully looking restroom. Now, what better way to enjoy the maiden Democracy Day than getting empowered by no other than wife of the president? These and more after the break. Please stay tuned.
National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, on behalf of the management, felicitates with the Senate President, Distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan, CON, PhD, Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ovie Omoagege, and the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Ahmed Idris Wase, on their landslide victory at the elections in both chambers during the inauguration of the 9th National Assembly. This victory is an eloquent testimony of your sterling leadership qualities and significant contributions to the development of the legislature over the years. As the technical organ of the National Assembly, the import of the capacity-building activities of the Institute will take a special significance given the high turnover of legislators in the 9th Assembly. Once again, accept my congratulations. Announcer, Professor Abubakar Olariwaju Suleiman, DG News.
Recycled toilet papers are made of waste papers that were once garbage. They are processed with many chemicals to eliminate any residual bacterial content. Since they may contain ink, they are grayish. Familiar instead is 100% cellulose, free from harmful chemicals. So it is naturally white, pure and soft.
Just like Mom!
Familiar, a smart choice for your family.
The buzz of alarms hails you, captain of the home, lady of the grind. Through the days of close deals and office politics, the carefree laughter of your little ones drives you. Even with school fees wahala, still you continue to push and believe. And these children where you see so go grow and prosper. Because at Union Bank, there's a loan for everyone. Apply today. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth. The proof's in the results. It works.
Mr. Shehu, are you okay?
I'm having pain, so this has been like this for the past 1 week.
Let me assist you to the hospital. You can't continue like this alone.
No. I want to go and see Baba Muslimi to give me some herbal mixture so that I can take. Because this hospital, the way they treat person, I'm not going to the hospital.
Mr. Shehu, that was in the past. With new patients' Bill of Rights, patients have the right to an urgent, immediate, and sufficient intervention and care. A right to complain and experience dissatisfaction where and when necessary. With the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, your consumers' rights are protected.
To lay your complaint, please contact any of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission's FCCPC offices closest to you with your complaints. You can also call our helplines at 0805 600 2020 or 0805 600 3030.
Please, let us go to the hospital. I'd like to experience this firsthand.
At FCCPC, you can rely on us to resolve your complaints effectively and efficiently.
Thank you very much.
Oga from what's on? I bet some me want malaria medicine for you.
You don't run malaria test, so?
Of course not. I want that one when I be they buy before chloroquine.
No more before malaria medicine for here. Oh. Now confirm malaria medicine will be artemisinin-based combination therapy, ACT, where they kill malaria pata na here the same.
ACT. Like to the art film.
No, ACT, the one where they act for the malaria, where they live for inside our body, like person when they pay rent, come kill them, finish her one time.
Me one now.
You don't go.
Yes, so if you get symptoms like fever, always test and confirm. Say you get malaria. Go ask for ACT, artemisinin-based combination therapy from your pharmacy. Now, Government of Nigeria and Rollback Malaria Partners bring you now this message. For a malaria-free Nigeria, play your part.
What is it that transforms the economies of the world? More than a nation's natural resources, it is about the quality of its people. The UAE has largely transitioned from an oil-driven economy into one that is knowledge-based. And by developing their human capital, others who have little or no natural resources have become global leaders in technology and innovation. We can also do the same. Combining modern skills with entrepreneurship development will give rise to enterprises which can increase the demand and capacity for skilled labor. Our mission at the Industrial Training Fund is to provide the knowledge and skills that can meet this demand, in recognition that this combination is the global currency of the 21st century economies. And so for us, this is what it's all about.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular, and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons.
Thanks for being there. Wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, has assured Nigerians, especially women and youths, of her continued support in improving their living standards for a better and prosperous nation. Mrs. Buhari stated this during the empowerment program of 2,000 women and youths in Yola, Adamawa State capital, courtesy Aisha Buhari Foundation in collaboration with a National Directorate of Employment, NDE. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The empowerment of women and youth is one of the cardinal objectives of the wife of the President, Aisha Buhari. The Aisha Buhari Foundation has been collaborating with the National Directorate of Employment and other stakeholders towards enhancing the lives of women and youth through various skills acquisition programs across the country. This time, ABF Foundation is collaborating with NDE for the empowerment of 2,000 women and youth in Adamawa State. The 2,000 beneficiaries comprises 1,000 women and youth who received 10,000 naira cash donation to support their businesses. 550 youth were also trained in various vocational skills, while 50 youth will undergo training using the mobile training workshop facility, and 400 women to be trained in cosmetology. While presenting the empowerment materials to the beneficiaries, the wife of the President called on them to make the best use of the opportunity given to them.
ND has been a partner in the empowerment of women and youths and are worthy of our commendation. It is important to empower women because they require very little capital to grow their businesses, and such empowerment is sure to affect the whole family and even the community.
Speaking on behalf of the visiting African First Ladies at the event, the First Lady of Ghana, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, alongside the Director General, National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Nasrullah Dan Muhammad, assured Mrs. Buhari of their full support and the increased synergy for the overall development of women, youth and children in Africa.
I encourage corporate institutions, NGOs, other foundations and individuals to support the work of the First Lady, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari.
This is all the more laudable considering that these are few out of enormous, numerous laudable projects that the Nigerian First Lady has initiated and executed in Adamawa State.
The beneficiaries expressed their happiness with a gesture. In Yola, Adamawa State capital, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
It's now time for us to join Abolade Salami live in Lagos for business news. Abolade, it's over to you. Happy.
Thank you, Fatima. Welcome to Business News segment. The Central Bank of Nigeria has warned that smuggling and other criminal activities that sabotage government's economic policies will no longer be tolerated. The Governor, Godwin Emefiele, at a business roundtable in Lagos, said the bank in due course will publish names of some identified smugglers.
A report by the Nigerian Textile Manufacturers Association revealed that the country loses about $325 million annually to smuggling in the textile industry. This illegal act cuts across other spectrum, thereby resulting into huge revenue loss for the government. In correcting this abnormality, the nation's financial regulator, CBN, says strategies will be put in place in collaboration with the deposit money banks to investigate the accounts of the smugglers.
Since we've identified smugglers and dumpers are those who sabotage those policies, and we've decided we will deal with them. And we'll get the banks to provide all details about the smugglers and dumpers. We investigate their accounts, and if they are found culpable in economic sabotage, bordering on dumping and smuggling in Nigeria, that I repeat, we will not only block their accounts, we will close the accounts in all Nigerian banks simultaneously. We will close the accounts of the owners of those companies, and we will close the accounts of top management members of those companies, because they know that their companies are involved in smuggling and they should not be supporting those kind of things.
The Apex Bank, in its quest to rid the country of smugglers, blocked the accounts of some identified smugglers in the textile industry and some identified products.
The adherence of accounting professionals to strict ethical standards in financial transactions will help checkmate illicit financial flow. President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Mazi Okwadibo, said accountants must be at the forefront of transparency. The alarming rate of illicit financial flow in the country in years past limited growth in economic performance with a huge drop in human capital development. The rate, which has drastically reduced due to the Buhari administration's economic policies targeted at blocking all financial loopholes with a view to revamping growth in various sectors of the economy, has been commended by the accounting professionals. President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Mazi Okwadibo, said accountants must refrain from any unwholesome practice capable of tarnishing the image of the profession.
Accountants are the conscience of the society. The intrinsic meaning of this is that you must constantly be wary of any act or conduct that goes against the ethos of the profession. You should not only uphold ethics and professionalism, but you must be seen to do so at all times.
The significant role accountants play in the management of funds is stressed, place them on the pedestal of integrity. It's on business. It's back to Fatima in Abuja for the continuation of the news. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Abolade. Now, dreams gradually becoming realities in the oil and gas industry as the 500 barrels per day Modular refinery developed by a Walter Smith Petrochemicals company with equity investment from the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board is set to make its debut in the highly priced petroleum sector by May next year. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wambote, confirmed this during an inspection of the facility at Ibigwe, Imo State.
271 million litres of petroleum products will be refined here and supplied to the Nigerian market to meet part of the local requirements. And it is the Walter Smith Modular refinery in Ibigwe, Imo State, that is coming up on this promising note. The most critical components, procurement, construction and engineering work, nearing completion, while installation will last for 4 weeks in October this year. So, for the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wambote, and the Chairman of the Walter Smith Group, Issa, it was an investment well-channeled, and the contractors, Lambert Electromac and Xerox companies, were given pat on the back. The Ibigwe Modular Refinery is the first to be undertaken by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, but Calabar in Cross River State has also gotten the favor of the board to have a modular refinery soon. The Executive Secretary of the board, Simbi Wambote, is more excited with the great number of Nigerians engaged by the companies, which perfectly fits into President Muhammadu Buhari's desire of creating employment opportunities for the youths.
So I'm really, really impressed at the progress of work, and we should all work towards achieving the project set date of May, so that by May 2020 we are here to commission this facility.
We have made sure that we are up to date with our payments, and we're looking forward to commissioning and beginning to sell diesel and kerosene from this site May 2020.
A journey started with the dotting of the I's in the round table in June 2018. That is exactly 1 year. It's now growing to attain the status of national pride. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
In the meantime, the minority shareholders of Owando PLC have appealed to Security and Exchange Commission to lift the suspension on the company's 2018 annual general meeting. The shareholders at a media parley in Lagos called on concerned bodies to intervene in the interest of the capital market. Abola Salami has the details.
And Exchange Commission during the week issued a statement suspending till further notice the annual general meeting of O&O PLC owing to an ongoing litigation. Reacting to the suspension of the annual general meeting, the minority shareholders of O&O PLC expressed displeasure over the decision by SEC to suspend the 2018 financial year report without prior notice to shareholders.
We challenge the Securities and Exchange Commission to tell us how this last-minute suspension of the AGM is in our best interest. We find the current actions of SEC even more alarming, especially after Owando made 180 billion naira loss and has reversed this into 2 consecutive years of profits. Profit that fill us with hope that dividends will soon be paid.
From a 6-month suspension in the trading of Owando shares to a 2-year investigation into the company's operation, shareholders with great concern are calling for the release of the forensic audit reports.
So the question we're asking today, the 2018 financial year, have nothing to do with the subject matter. Because what your forensic audit you are relying upon is the previous years you audited. It is not in 2018. So 2018 account must be presented and discussed by the AGM.
And what SEC is doing today is like adding salt to our injuries.
While acknowledging the role of SEC as a regulator in the protection of the capital market, the minority shareholders with one voice are appealing to SEC to be more ethical in the interest of the capital market and shareholders. In Lagos, Abola Salami, NTA News.
Time for another break. Please stay tuned.
Heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why I need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Ever since he could hold the bat, Charles wanted to play like his big brother. Victor had skills that matched the best in the land. Never mind, little brother. Drink your Dano milk and keep practicing. So that is what he did. And step by step, glass by glass, the boy grew in spirit and strength. Drink your Dano milk and be strong.
Also available in Dano Cool Cow, Dano Slim, and Dano Flavored Milk. Choose Dano. Choose goodness.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. Are you stressed out at work and need a break? Or are you tired of your environment and need a breath of fresh air away from home? Or is it a family vacation, business trip or honeymoon you're planning? Well, here is a good news for you. South Africa is just the perfect place to be, and of course there are reservations especially for you. So Momso Damian Dete will tell us about the beautiful sights and sounds in South Africa.
And thank you, Fatima. Let me take you on one of the most adventurous tours one can experience. Beauty, color, relax, and enjoy the wonderful gifts of nature and some fascinating sights and sounds imaginable. It is in South Africa, a place that connects with the soul. From Cape Town to Durban, Johannesburg to Mpumalanga, amazing travel packages await to give enchanting and unforgettable experience